Today's video is sponsored by War Thunder. Hey folks, this is Kalani. Season 4 of Dragonflight is almost here, which means Season 3 is rapidly coming to a close. But with the end of Season 3, there are quite a lot of achievements and rewards that will become unobtainable, so we don't have too much longer to get any end of season achievements or goals completed. There are a lot of things you can do to best prepare yourself and your characters for the new season as well, and there are a few things that might be easier if you just wait until Season 4 goes live. So let's go over everything to do before Season 4 goes live, as well as some things which might not be worth your time. Now before we jump in, be sure to hit up that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. Let's start with the raid achievements and rewards that will become unobtainable when Season 3 ends. As per usual, the ahead of the curve and cutting edge achievements for the Emir raid will be going away. You'll need to kill Farak on Heroic to get your AOTC achievement, or kill them on Mythic to get the cutting edge achievement. Now, even though AOTC is going away, the Shadowflame Farak manuscript should remain available until the end of the expansion. At least that's how it worked for Shadowlands, and that's really our only point of comparison for a fated season. So as long as you kill Farak on Heroic before Dragonflight ends, this reward should still be up for grabs. If you're worried that they might change things up for Season 4, be sure to secure that manuscript before Season 4 goes live. The same goes for every Mythic mount or random drop mount from the 3 Dragonflight raids. They should still be available in Season 4 at their 100% drop rates for the Mythic ones specifically, so don't worry about those rewards going away just yet. The higher item levels in Season 4 might actually make farming some of those rewards easier, but either way I would focus on getting the time-limited stuff like the achievements first. Then we also have some Mythic Plus and Dungeon related achievements and rewards tied to Season 3. Getting to 1500 plus Mythic rating will reward you with the Keystone Conqueror achievement and the Dreaming title. Getting to 2000 or higher Mythic rating will reward you with the Keystone Master achievement and the Verdant Armadon mount, so if you want either of those rewards you will need to hit the rating requirements before the end of Season 3. If you want an extra challenge, the Dragonflight Keystone Hero achievement requires 2500 Mythic Plus rating or higher and will reward you with the Emerald Blossom Dreamstone, which unlocks additional visual effects on some Season 3 sets. And then if you really want to push yourself, you can earn the Keystone Hero achievement for each individual dungeon in Season 3 by completing a plus 20 key for that dungeon. These achievements unlock a teleport spell directly to that dungeon, and with this season having almost all old dungeons, they can be quite valuable in helping you travel around the world to different areas or expansions quite quickly. We might not see these dungeons in a Mythic Plus rotation again for a long time, so this will probably be the last time to get these teleports, at least for quite a while. And then of course we have the PvP achievements and deadlines as well, including the Season 3 Gladiator title and mount, so if you're shooting for that you do have limited time left. Then there's also the Vicious Moon Beast mounts for winning rated PvP matches, or the Elite PvP transmog sets, which you can get from getting up to 1800 rating in rated PvP. All of these rewards are seasonal, so you only have until the end of Season 3 to acquire them. Something else you might want to work on before Season 4 arrives is securing your legendary weapon, assuming you're playing a class that can use one anyway. There have been 2 legendary weapons so far in Dragonflight, the Evoker Fist weapon, Nazaru the Unbound Legacy, that can be acquired from the last boss in the Avarice raid, and then of course the two-handed axe, Fireleth the Dream Render, which can be used by Paladins, Death Knights and Warriors, and this one can be acquired from Farak, the last boss in the Emir raid. The reason why these legendaries are important for Season 4 is that we're going to be able to purchase an item that will upgrade these legendaries to item level 502 and also allow them to be upgraded even further by using flight stones and crests, just like any other item in the game. If the legendaries are put on the new Awakened upgrade track, they should be upgradable all the way to item level 528 or maybe even 535 if they get the 14 upgrade steps. Either which way this goes, these legendaries will be incredibly powerful in Season 4 and will most likely be your best in slot weapon for any class who can use them. Now if you're not sure how to get your hands on them, for the Evoker legendary you're going to want to kill Sarkarath, the last boss in the Avarice raid, on the highest difficulty you can manage every week. Even if that's only LFR or normal, it's still better than nothing. Heroic will give you the best bang for your buck if you can handle it. The same goes for Fireleth. You'll want to kill Farak, the last boss in the Emir raid, on the highest difficulty you can every week, with Heroic being again the sweet spot due to that accumulating bad luck protection. With your legendary in hand, you just need to wait for Season 4 to go live, buy the upgrade item, and you'll already have your best in slot weapon ready to go. Now before we continue, let's check out today's sponsor, War Thunder. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made. Take control over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters and ships, ranging from biplanes and armoured cars of the 1920s to the fighter jets and main equipment used today. Each vehicle is painstakingly detailed with realistic graphics and authentic sound effects that really draw you in and immerse you in the action. My favourite feature of War Thunder is the way damage works. It's not just deal damage until you run out of hit points, each vehicle has individual components like engines, fuel tanks, weapons and crew that can all be damaged and disabled, so where you hit and what you hit them with is super important. With over 70 million players worldwide, you got plenty of folks willing to jump into epic PvP battles with you. Between the crazy array of vehicles, insane attention to detail and so many opportunities for fun, there's no game better suited for fans of military history. You can play War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation or Xbox, and if you click the link in the description, new or returning players who haven't played in 6 months will get a massive bonus pack including an exclusive vehicle decor, 100,000 silver lions and 7 days of premium account. You can also do a bit of prep work for the season. The Mythic Plus dungeon rotation is going to be made up of the 8 original Dragonflight dungeons, so this will be the first time we're seeing all 8 together in the Mythic Plus Keystone system, but this also means that we can pop back into these dungeons to remind yourself how trash mobs work, how the boss mechanics flow, and if you really want to, you can look at old dungeon routes to see what trash packs were pulled to maximise your trash percentage. Now thankfully there are quite a few changes being made to several of these dungeons, including a checkpoint being added into Halls of Infusion, which was desperately needed, so there are going to be some changes here and there, but for the most part I would expect the dungeons will play out in more or less the same way, so you can tinker about in the dungeons right now and give yourself a refresher if needed. We also know that the 3 Dragonflight raids will be returning for Season 4. Every week one of the raids will be Awakened, empowering the mobs and bosses and also increasing the item level of gear drops. Awakened doesn't seem to do anything but increase numbers from what we can tell, so no new affixes or mechanics, it's just the same raids but with higher item level rewards. While that's not all too exciting, that does mean we know exactly what all of these bosses do and you can practice every boss if you so wish. There are also plenty of videos now going over different strategies, so if you didn't take part in the raids when they were current and you're not sure what some of the older raid bosses do, or maybe you just don't remember them very well, you can re-familiarise yourself with them so when Season 4 rolls around, you can just zoom all the way through the raids and pick up as much loot as possible. Something else you can do for a bit of prep work is take a peek through the loot tables for both the 8 Dragonflight dungeons, but perhaps more importantly the 3 different Dragonflight raids. All of this gear will be available during Season 4, giving us access to a lot of different gearing up opportunities, but with the higher item levels of Season 4 that also means some very powerful pieces of gear are going to make a comeback. The best part of Season 4 however is that we will be able to buy any raid gear from any of the 3 Dragonflight raids from some new vendors in Valdrakken. So you might be thinking, well sure, that item is super godlike, but you have to actually get the drop. Maybe you never saw a Grief Torch from Vault of the Incarnate or your class trinket from Aberrus. This vendor takes all of the RNG out of the equation. You can just buy the items that you want. We're not too sure how the antique bronze bullion currency works just yet, but it is safe to assume we'll be able to buy at least a few of these items. Now these vendor items are even more powerful when compared to the last time we saw this system in the Shadowlands Fated season because they have the new Awakened upgrade track. Back in Shadowlands, I believe you could buy any item you wanted from the raid, but it was stuck at normal raid item level with some limited upgrade potential. For Season 4, the Awakened track lets you upgrade these items from the starting point of 493 all the way up to 528 or even 535 for the items marked very rare. That is an insane amount of upgrade potential, making these items both pretty easy to acquire but also almost irreplaceable. So I would take a look through the dungeon journal or maybe the gear vendors on the PTR and plan out where you might spend your bronze bullions before the season goes live. Now while it's not really related to the current season, something else that you might want to get done before Season 4 is secure the various plunderstorm rewards from the Keglegs Crew Renown track. Plunderstorm is a time limited event, and while we don't have a solid date for either Plunderstorm's end or Season 4's start, it's not too far-fetched to think that they will line up at least a little bit. The plunderstorm grind is also kind of long, especially if you are either not very good at plunderstorm or PvP, or you just don't really enjoy it. So you don't want to leave it until the very last second to start this farm if you do want any of the rewards on offer. Even if plunderstorm sticks around for a bit after Season 4 launches, or if the event gets extended, you don't want to be stuck trying to eke out your last few plunderstorm renown levels when you could be enjoying the new season. There is some mounts, pets, and quite a lot of transmog if you can complete all 40 renown tracks, so it is totally worth the effort if you love cosmetic collectibles. If any of these rewards are of interest, I would get your plunderstorm farming done now rather than later. If you're looking for some other content to pass the time between now and the release of Season 4, there are also a bunch of new expansion meta achievements to work through. Wake Me Up, Centaur of Attention, Army of the Fed, Flight Club, and Closing Time cover activities relating to the major factions of Dragonflight and the various zones that make up the Dragon Isles. And then Across the Isles covers more general stuff, and also every meta achievement that we just went through. So there is a lot of content to work through here if you want to complete all of these new meta achievements and collect all of the mount rewards. But one of the most important factors for these achievements specifically is that quite a lot of the content can be made easier or more efficient by grouping up. The storms in the Dragon Isles are a great example. If you're solo, they can be quite dangerous, but if you're in a group, they pose almost zero risk. With these achievements being new right now, a lot of players are working on them. That means more groups in the group finder, which can really speed up some of these activities, and if you wait until the last minute to try and get this stuff done, you may find it's actually a lot harder simply due to fewer folks working on the same achievements. We'll also have a lot more on our to-do lists for the end of expansion deadlines, so I would really recommend getting these meta achievements out of the way now if you really want to complete them. Now, something else that you might be interested in that's related to Season 3 is transmog farming. There's a really neat trick you can use to unlock the transmog for LFR and normal raid sets with a single piece of gear without actually having to do the raid. When you transform a piece of gear using the revival catalyst, the resulting piece will always be a part of your raid set transmog. The difficulty of the transmog you unlock, so LFR, normal, heroic, or mythic, will depend on the item level of the piece you transform. The easiest way to get these raid set transmogs is to use veteran gear rewards from the Emerald Dream weekly quests. There are 3 weekly quests in the Emerald Dream zone, 1 to complete a super bloom, 1 to plant 5 dream seeds, and then the Worthy Ally weekly quest to earn reputation. All of these quests reward you with veteran gear, and all gear from these quests can be used in the catalyst. So if you take your 1 of 8 veteran gear and pop it into the catalyst, the resulting item will unlock the LFR version of your raid set transmog for that gear slot. You can then take that item and upgrade it using flight stones and crests. At about 5 of 8 veteran, or around item level 454, you should unlock the normal version of the raid set as well. So you can get 2 color variations by using 1 piece of gear and 1 catalyst charge. That's pretty good value, especially considering you don't even have to step foot into the raid. The only problematic part is the gear rewards being random, so you do have to hope you get the right items that you need from the weekly quests to unlock the transmog that you still need. Now this can be made even more potent if you have some alts. The more max level alts you have, the more charges you get to work with. Each character can have up to 8 catalyst charges, giving you more potential transmog collecting. The easy weekly quests in the Emerald Dream are also character specific, so you can complete those on each alt to give you more chances to get items you actually need the transmog for. Now obviously you can also use any gear from the raid or Season 3 dungeons for the same effect, and the higher the item level of the piece of gear you have, the higher difficulty you can get from the catalyst. So I would also go through your bags, slap in any spare gear you have, and just see if you have the transmog unlocked for the resulting item. If you see the blue text, "You haven't collected this appearance," that's 1 more transmog you can add to your collection. The reason that I bring this up in this video is that this all relies on the catalyst and the charges. When we cross over into Season 4, you will lose all of your catalyst charges if it works like the previous seasons. Season 4 is also a bit of a weird one, so that makes this even more uncertain, so I would just use all your charges before Season 3 ends, just to make sure you don't miss out on some easy transmog sets. Now, with all of this in mind, perhaps the most important thing I would do before Season 4 arrives is to take it easy. Don't push yourself to grind if you're not having a good time with it, especially for some of the things that can still be picked up after Season 4 goes live. The main reason I say this is because Season 4 isn't the end of Dragonflight. It's the last season, sure, but we still have patch 10.2.7 to look forward to, which promises to add even more content for us to chew on as we wait for the War Within expansion to ramp up to its release day. There is also a surprise PvE event coming our way, so if plunderstorm wasn't your thing due to the PvP aspect of it, maybe this new surprise PvE event will be right up your alley. So there's still a lot more fun to be had. Don't burn yourself out just before a new season and before a new patch. Season 4 should keep things interesting for a few weeks as 10.2.7 is preparing to launch, and that will hopefully tie us over quite nicely until the War Within pre-patch. It would be a shame to burn out right before all of this new content. So take it easy, complete the things you really want to get done, and try to have fun as we wrap up the Dragonflight expansion. But that's everything to do before Season 4 goes live, so that's it for this video. What are you going to focus on over the next several weeks? Getting those end of season achievements done, preparing for the new season, or maybe just taking it easy? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to check out War Thunder for free today and grab those special bonus packs with exclusive vehicle decor, 100,000 Silver Lions and 7 days premium account, available to new and returning players who haven't played for 6 months. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to all of our members here on YouTube. You can see the names floating by on screen. If you'd like to add your name to the end of every video with a special shout out at the start of the next video, you can find links in the description over to Patreon or click the join button just below this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.